Today's stories include ROG Xbox Allies reportedly launching in late October, PlayStation the Concert is coming to the US, and Red Dead's actors are teasing an announcement. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing, Adeoye Jr. Joining me is LaCroix Poppy, Tim, motherfucking Geddes.
Oh, what a pleasure to be here today. We got some fun stuff to talk about. Some Xbox, some PlayStation, everything in between.
Everything in between. Nintendo? Is that the thing?
Is there some Nintendo? I don't know.
I don't think there's anything Nintendo,
Nintendo's
sadly.
been having so many goddamn things recently, so
yeah,
that's nice.
It's like, take a seat, Nintendo. We're going to talk about Fortnite instead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do
an
it.
exciting one. That's going to be a very exciting one. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, the Switch 2 is here. I've been playing so much of it. To the point that a couple days ago, I had a headache all day long, and I'm sure it was because of the Switch.
Oh, just sitting. You're really playing it that much? It's all day.
Oh, I've been on it so much.
All Mario
man.
Kart?
I'm bouncing around. I mean, we'll do in a whole what we've been playing episode of GameScast after this, so I don't want to spoil too much. But I've been playing a little Pikmin 1.
Oh,
A game that I've never fully given a shot. So I'm like, Nintendo's treating this like one of their big five. So I'm like, I got to show it a
one
little
of their
more
big
respect.
five.
Well, that's what
Like the big five
it.
IPs?
Yeah. I mean, think about it.
What's Nintendo's big five?
I mean, what we would say and what they would say are different things.
You think so?
Well, what I'm saying is who's walking to the Nintendo store on the side of the store? We got Link, we got Mario, we got Inklings, we have Pikmin, and we have
Yeah, but like that's because the Pikmin audience will buy merch. You know who won't buy merch? The Metroid audience. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's a different conversation.
Well, I mean,
I guess am I putting Metroid in the big five?
that's not here we go, Wes.
Listen, it's a slow news day, so we can have this conversation.
The conversation for me is I need to show more respect to Pikmin and to Animal Crossing.
Well, Animal Crossing for sure.
But all that means, why are you hating on Pikmin?
Pikmin's not it. Okay, Pikmin,
I have a feeling Pikmin's a
No.
better game for you than Animal Crossing.
Yes, but you said the big five.
And I'm saying it based on Nintendo. I ain't saying it.
Nintendo's
I
not
don't know
putting
shit about
Pikmin. Pikmin might be big seven. It's not big five.
Pikmin are everywhere, dude. They're hiding.
I'm
There's
gonna
one in
list
your
your
hood right
big
now.
five. All right, you got Mario.
Yeah.
You got Pokemon.
Yeah, they don't count Pokemon because, it's a little bit iffy. Otherwise, it should be. Absolutely.
Pokemon only shows up on Nintendo platforms. That has to be big five.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there Pokemon merch in the Nintendo store?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
big.
half the store.
Oh, then I'm for sure counting Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
I would too. But they're not on the side of the store.
So Mario,
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
Zelda, Animal Crossing,
Come on. Show some love to your boy.
Donkey Kong. That's five right there.
Yeah.
And I say Donkey Kong even like not thinking about it. I feel like if I thought about it more, there might be somebody before Donkey Kong.
I don't think so.
You don't think there's somebody
Think
before
about the
Donkey
Smash
Kong?
Brothers roster. The problem is we start talking about spin-offs. Because, like, if we're being real, what's the big five? If we're being real,
Mario Kart.
It's Mario Kart, Smash Brothers,
Oh,
Pokemon, and I guess fuck it, we'll give it to Animal Crossing.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, somebody in chat says Splatoon. Splatoon might be before Donkey Kong.
well, Splatoon's in there.
Wait, well,
not
I
yours.
didn't.
Okay,
Yeah, not
gotcha.
mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm thinking objectively, I think the thing with Donkey Kong is that he's grandfathered in. You know what I mean? Like if Nick Scarpino passed away tomorrow,
Yeah.
5 years from now, we're still gonna be like, all right, like when do you think of Kinda Funny? Nick Scarpino.
You're making a point that I'm following.
I mean,
I need somebody to Photoshop Nick as Cranky Kong. I need that in my life. But yeah, no, again, like what's this even fucking matter? Like what does any of this mean? Because Samus will always be the number one girl in my life.
listen, I appreciate that.
But the point is I am woefully ill-equipped to speak on Animal Crossing and Splatoon, and I want to just give him a shot. Give him more of a shot. Splatoon,
Pikmin.
Sorry, Pikmin, and Animal Crossing. Splatoon's on that list too. Although I played the campaign of Splatoon too.
Yeah.
It's the next Splatoon, this Splatoon Rangers,
Raiders?
yeah.
Yeah.
If it's more single player focused, I might hang out with it longer than I have the other ones, right?
I mean, same, yeah.
But Pikmin 1, I beat Pikmin 1 back in the day, but I feel like I need to give it this son of a bitch. You know what I mean?
Man.
Just look
the
at
Donkey
that,
Kong
man.
kind of funny if
Just look at that,
I can
man.
say so myself.
Yeah.
He'll always
The
be top
amount of
five.
Fire Emblems I'm seeing in the chat, like The problem with this is there's interest, there's sales, there's entry of volumes, and then there's just like the level of like, but let's be real. Like, when we're saying big five, like Fire Emblem's not in the goddamn big five.
But like Fire Emblem's above Pikmin. Fire Emblem's above Pikmin.
I mean,
Fire Emblem and Xenoblade is probably above Pikmin. Just because Xenoblade isn't in the Nintendo store. It's because they're not buying merch like that. The store...
But I think that's kind of like, that's... If that's not what we're talking about, then what are we talking about? Because if we're just talking about the best... And this is the dumbass Mount Rushmore conversation. Like, what are we actually saying here? Because we're saying best Nintendo franchises. Yeah, that's a very different conversation.
I think, even if we're saying profitable, Fire Emblem's more profitable than Pikmin, right?
I don't know, man.
I feel like that's...
Here's the thing.
There's no way
Miyamoto loves those little fuckers. You know what I mean?
because they're cute. Because
they're his babies. They're one of his big five babies.
You know what I mean? Like that. They're good. They're good to put on the front of a box.
Do we have the ability to put it in the chat? A poll between Pikmin versus Fire Emblem. And I'm saying this, I'm a Fire Emblem fan.
Yeah.
I love Fire Emblem.
The question is, which one is Nintendo's favorite child than the other?
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's easily Pikmin.
Which one is like a more top IP for Nintendo between Fire Emblem and Pikmin? It's Fire Emblem.
A more top
also,
IP.
Also, chat keeps bringing up Zelda. I said Zelda. Zelda was my number 2 or 3, I think.
They made a Pokemon Go for Pikmin. That's crazy.
It's because it's a different IP than like if you could do that for Fire. They made a mobile game for Fire Emblem.
It was very successful.
Yeah. It's just a different audience. You got to treat it in a different way. Pikmin, it's like you're just looking for things to do. Oh, what do we do with these little guys? I guess we'll try to make a Pokemon Go that won't be anywhere near as successful as an actual top 5 IP.
Pikmin Bloom.
Pikmin Bloom. They really did that.
They did that.
They did that.
Yeah.
They didn't do that because Pikmin was popular.
But it's because they want it to be.
They want it to be.
They believe in Pikmin. They fuck with Pikmin so hard, and that's why I'm like, I should fuck with Pikmin.
Pikmin.
I want to let you know right now, Bless. I'm not really fucking with Pikmin.
Pikmin, I'm so wrestling pilled right now because in my brain, I'm like, Fire Emblem is like the all reliable. Fire Emblem is the one, that star that doesn't even need the championship. But they're always Randy Orton is Fire Emblem. Pikmin is the one you're trying to push.
You're a crazy person, but I kind of love
it. Pikmin is the one where it's like, give him the championship because we want Pikmin up there.
See, now, here's the thing, though. There's the Orton doesn't work for Fire Emblem. And even what you're saying doesn't work for Fire Emblem. Because I think Fire Emblem, while it's had now not 1, but 2 breakout moments in the US with Fire Emblem Awakening, fucking waking people up, getting woke to Fire Emblem.
Oh, yeah.
And then 3 Houses on the Switch really being the like,
this is the one.
God, like blow it up. I still think they're non-believers. I still think there are a ton of gamers out there, Nintendo or otherwise, that if they gave a Fire Emblem a shot, they'd be all in. So
yeah, but I mean, this is a fun conversation because I think it's just the nature of the genre, which I think Fire Emblem is like for the kind of game that it is broken through because it's that good, right? Because it's like that iconic for like what it means to the Nintendo catalog, and also because of Smash Brothers and how much Smash Brothers I think has put those characters on the map and really made people recognize like, oh man, I know Marth or whatever. What games are these? Fire Emblem 3 Houses comes out and turns out is a game that a lot of the core audience is gonna fuck with. I think Pikmin is like, this is the fun thing where I don't want to insult Pikmin because Pikmin also I have hella respect for just for this.
I'm right there with you, dude.
I have hella respect for Pikmin, but I think it's that combination of it's the cozy game that's also like been there since the GameCube, and so there's nostalgia involved in it, and also it's one of a kind as far as the kind of game that it is, and so I think it's always gonna have a place at the table. Yeah, there's no other Pikmins out there.
It's a Miyamoto baby, man.
Yeah,
that makes it. That's a game changer.
Fire Emblem is out here competing with games that are similar to Fire Emblem, and is still outshining them.
Yeah,
because this is one of them boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fire Emblem is just one of them ones.
Yeah.
Put some respect on it. I'm gonna play Fire Emblem when I get home. I've never played a Fire Emblem.
Oh my god!
Does 3 Houses have like one of those boosts?
No,
like for Switch 2?
I don't think so. But it's still gonna have a boost. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. That's exciting.
That's I might need a code. I don't think I own that game. How much is it? $60? Because everything on Nintendo Switch is still gonna be $60.
Man, I wish there was a way for you to play Awakening. I feel like you'd really fuck with it. It's a 3DS one.
We need to rally for Nintendo to do more deals. Paying $60 for Fire Emblem.
Got us some deals. Give us the greatest hits.
It's 2025. I'm not going to buy it for $60. I'm sorry, your Fire Emblem. Maybe I'll come back around. We'll see. For now, remember, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Before we continue, Kevin does have the poll
Two
up
polls.
here. 2 polls. Oh, I see, because there's one on the YouTube and there's one on the Twitch. The audience has spoken. Fire Emblem is the better pick.
Which is
On
better,
YouTube,
Fire
on
Emblem.
YouTube. Oh, I guess the poll's still going.
Oh, I see.
263 votes on YouTube.
Because the phrasing on the YouTube one is
It's not the question.
which is better
Yeah.
between Pikmin and Fire Emblem.
I don't think I made that one. I was making one.
It's fair,
someone
it's
made
fair.
it,
Yeah.
For the other one, I just wrote choose.
Which I
And
mean,
they
still
chose
valid.
Fire Emblem. So it looks like Fire Emblem is the winner.
Yeah, Fire Emblem on the YouTube side for the which is better is winning at 60% to Pikmin's 40%. And then on the Twitch side for just choose, Fire Emblem is up 54% to Pikmin's 46%, which is a lot closer.
Yeah, that was also, I only put it at a 2-minute poll. So that has ended.
Okay.
Roy's our boy. We like guy. Get fucked, Pikmin. You know what I mean?
Get fucked,
Fire Emblem
Pikmin.
for life.
Come on.
Sakurai, put more Fire Emblem characters in Smash next time. Let's go.
We need to start spelling Olimar with a lowercase o and a big ol' L. Big ol' L.
That's what I'm talking
Come
about,
on.
Wes. Let's go.
Housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business, all about live talk shows. So today, after KFGD, you're going to get GAMESCAST, which, like Tim mentioned before, is a big What You Been Playing episode. And then after GAMESCAST is a sponsored NVIDIA FBC Firebreak stream, followed by Jack and Daxter with me and Barrett. My first time picking
Very
up
exciting.
Jack
Can't
and
wait for you
Daxter.
to see you do it.
Yeah. And if you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is 20+ minutes on why you shouldn't have a kid unless ... And then later today is the Kind of Funny happy hour for our $25 and above supporters on Patreon. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney Twining. Today we're brought to you by Shady Rays, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 5 stories today.
Baker's Dozen!
Starting with our number 1, ROG Xbox Ally is reportedly launching in late October. Microsoft has yet to commit to a price. This is Francesco De Mayo at WCCFTech. I got a super chat question for y'all. How much are you willing to pay for the Xbox Ally? Let me know in the super chats. The ROG Xbox Ally is launching in a few months, but Microsoft reportedly has yet to commit to a price due to the uncertainty of the current economic situation. In a new report shared today, Windows Central corroborated the rumored October launch window for the 2 handhelds, clarifying they are tentatively slated for late October. According to the outlet's sources, however, the rumored prices of $499 for the base model and $799 for the premium model may not be accurate, as Microsoft has yet to commit to a price due to the tariffs imposed by the United States on products manufactured in countries such as China and Taiwan, where Asus manufactures its products. Tim, what you think about that?
There's a lot going on here. I will say I don't believe these numbers. The $800 for the premium model, that's the same price currently of the Asus Ally X. And I feel the same way about this as I did Switch, and I was wrong. I bet $400 on Switch. It ended up being $450. So I'm looking at this now, this is being even more powerful. Part of me is like, oh, the Xbox branding and partnership is going to make them want to try to get on the low end and maybe subsidize here or there. The realistic part of me is like, nah, this thing's $900.
Yeah.
I think it's $900.
And is that like factoring in the tariffs in mind?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
scary.
again, I feel like that's the type of stuff that like you can't really at all predict or anything.
Sure.
So like, I'm just saying more just like industry trends of where we're at with this level of tech. I would not be surprised, especially with them offering 2 models of it. I would not be surprised if it was $900. 8 or 9, honestly. If it ends up being 8, it's not like the biggest shocker in the world. I will be literally shocked if it's anything lower than that, though. And if it's higher. If it crosses that $1,000 mark, oh boy. But I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, for like talking about that $1,000 mark, right? Like, I don't think I'm surprised anymore when things are priced that high. Like, I think that's just where we're at as far as the world, and also just electronics and with the tariffs and all that stuff factored in. It's like I've been prepped to expect the worst, right? When we were talking about Mario Kart being $80, when we're talking about like, you know, the Switch pre-orders being paused while they had to assess the situation, and like I feel like we're at that place of expect the worst for all of this, and so like based on what you're saying, I would probably lean more toward the $1,000 mark.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those four digits are hard.
Yeah, they really
those
are.
Those 4 digits are tough.
But at the same time, they're not for what type of product this is. Like this
Sure.
is going to, I think, sell very well to the market that it's going for, even at $1,000. I don't think it's going to hit that. But we need to realize that, like, take tariffs out of it and take like the entire conversation. Of course, we want everything as cheap as possible. These are expensive products. Like, there's just no getting around it. Like, you were paying for tech. This is the equivalent of like buying a PC, and like, yes, you could buy the cheaper PC, but this is the high-end version of the thing. Like, this is them trying to give a high-end model of gaming handheld PC. So we had a whole episode on handhelds yesterday on GAMESCAST that you could check out for more thoughts on the whole situation. But I think that the Xbox Ally X specifically is for an audience that really does want the best of the best when it comes to Windows handheld gaming, performing as high as possible with as nice a screen and like all the doodads and whatnots. But you got to pay for that. Like, you compare that price even to the highest Steam Deck, which right now is at $650. And I was saying, I don't recommend buying that. I recommend buying the $550 OLED one, because the only advantage you get are an extra terabyte of storage that you could just buy a SD card for, and an anti-glare screen that I prefer the cheaper screen anyways. So really comparing the Steam Deck at $550, then you start going up at the high-end model to the high-end model of this. This thing is demonstrably more powerful than the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So you're getting what you pay for.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by what the chat is going to say as far as what they're willing to pay for this, because I think a thing that I've realized over the course of talking about the Xbox handheld and my expectations for just it being super expensive is that for me it's mainly a thing of I just don't think I'm going to get one. Like, I don't like for how many handhelds there are out there currently, and for how much the price is going for, right? Like, I'm so happy with my Steam Deck and I'm so happy with my Switch 2 that I look at the Xbox handheld, I'm like, man, that looks really cool, but I don't think I'm ready to spend another $800. And that's where I get fascinated as far as the conversation and for how well is this thing going to do? How many people are they selling this to? Are they going to sell this to? Because like my assumption is that this is for the hardest of the hardcore.
It is.
And for Xbox and for Asus, right? Like, how big is that audience as far as like the people that are willing to spend that much for an Xbox handheld?
Yeah. There is the lower end one though.
Which is, how much do you think that's going to be?
So right now, rumored price $500. It's like, I do think $500 or $600, which again is still a lot of money, but it is a lot more reasonable compared to $900 or $1,000.
Yeah. 1,000. There was somebody in chat that was like, bless is not, it's still 3 digits because it'll be $9.99. But colloquially, like, we're going to say $1,000. You know what I mean?
But yeah, and in addition to this, like, these are just the first 2 officially partnered ones. Like, we're about to see so many more of these devices, and like whatever user interface Xbox is working on and Microsoft's working on, we're going to see on the Legion and just the other handheld devices as well.
I think that's going to do so much for it. I think it's a tough pill for me to swallow. I know, fucking Greg just standing in the background.
In the shadows, halfway out the door, just standing there until we look at him. God. He needs it. He needs the eye contact and attention.
Hate him. But for me, fuck, I just lost my train of thought too. No, it's all good. I think, yes, it's a hard pill to swallow. This early on with it. And I think this early on in the conversation as far as the Xbox ecosystem, Xbox PC, that transition of your library and all that stuff, I think I'm still in the early place of it, where even when we're talking about a $600 thing, and this is me speaking as somebody who at this point, if I'm ordering the places that I mostly play, it's Steam, PlayStation, Nintendo, maybe tied right now because the Switch came out, you know what I mean? But like Steam has become my place that I'm playing, mainly for the function of, all right, cool, I have my 4080 on my PC desktop where I'm getting that good experience as far as like getting that fidelity, and then I have my Steam Deck, and those talk seamlessly to each other as far as cloud save and all that stuff, and like my library is there, and I have that ecosystem with me. I know that I am probably a far cry as far as like what they're aiming for here, but even still, it's tough to think about that 600, maybe 700 price point for a lower end handheld and think of, all right, well, what am I really getting out of this?
Well,
compared to what I'm getting
I think you kind of answered your own question. Like, maybe this isn't for you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a much tougher sell when you're already in this ecosystem, Steam, that you're enjoying, and you have all your questions answered. Your use cases are covered. You don't need this.
Yeah.
But I do think it's for the people that don't have a Steam library, do have an Xbox library, do have Game Pass, do have an Xbox, and just want, or do have a badass, like let's take Xbox out of it, have a 4080 in their PC or whatever, and want to be in the Xbox ecosystem. This is the answer. Like, we'll wait and see how good it actually is. But based on how good the Ally so far is, they've lived up to expectations. Like, it is a very high quality machine. It has its quirks. Everything does.
Yeah.
But like, I do think that like, we know the audience for this, and it's not you. It would be you if you hadn't already committed.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
I'm just fascinated by like how I'm fascinated by, I guess, the amount of Xbox audience that are gonna go all in on this thing. And I guess the transition for Xbox is like, hey, this is where the ship's headed no matter what. Like, we are an ecosystem, and so to follow along on this path, right? Like, you just have to get used to having that freedom of, all right, you got an Xbox console, or we have Asus manufacturing a handheld, or we have Lenovo giving you this thing, or we have a PC tower that is Xbox branded. Like, it's a wild future we're entering. I'm just so fascinated by how that looks years down the line, and like how much buy-in you have from the audience as far as what that is. Because I think overall that final product could be so fucking cool and so fucking
absolutely. And
convenient
I just think that we should set expectations correctly. Of, all right, like this thing. Let's say it comes out at $900 or fuck it, $1,000. Let's say it comes out at $1,000. How many units are they actually expecting to move, and what are they considering a success? I have a feeling they're being realistic about this, and they know that this is probably going to top out at best. And it is Xbox marketing and pushing one for the first time.
Sure.
What will that end up looking like, and how successful could it possibly be for them? I don't know. Over the first year, if everything works out perfectly, 4 million units sold for this thing.
I mean,
And that's a lot.
I don't know, 4 million units.
That's a lot.
How many Xboxes are out, like Xbox Series X's / S's are out there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's my thinking as far as
Do you think I'm over or undershooting it there?
I think you're overshooting.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's me literally saying like maxing out there. Like,
Yeah. Okay, sure.
what can we expect from it? Like, it'll be less than 5 million, less than a handful of million. And
Man, this is gonna be me undershooting it. Kevin's brought up 32.46 million units of the Xbox Series X / S have been sold. And this is from VG charts from February 2025, so that should be up to date for the most of the generation.
let me clarify what I'm saying here. I am aware of how many Steam Decks are out there. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is the first time we're getting Xbox pushing one of these handhelds, and this is going to be in Best Buys. This is going to be pushed officially by Xbox in storefronts in a way that Steam's not.
Yeah.
So I do think that it has a better chance of selling more than a Steam Deck simply due to marketing. So I don't know that it's going to, but I'm saying like that's kind of the top level of what this can even be.
See, my immediate prediction that I would throw out there is 1 million. Like,
And I
that's
think
kind
they'd
of
see that as a success.
yeah, and that's my thing is I wonder if they see that as a success, and I would hope that like those are the kind of numbers that they're working with over there, especially if the plan is to continually license this out. Because if you sell 1 million of the Xbox allies and then 1 million of another thing and then 1 million of another, like those numbers do add up as far as what that does for the Xbox ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is what
The
they're
goal,
trying to do. Speaking of the Xbox ecosystem, we have breaking
news, everybody.
This comes from, oh man, Kevin, I might need you to pull up. There's in the Slack channel, Roger has it as breaking. There's a video that accompanies this tweet, but there's a tweet from Xbox that went live at 10 a.m. this morning that says, announcing that we're building the next generation of Xbox first-party devices and cloud, including our future Xbox consoles together with AMD. Next level performance, cutting edge graphics, breakthrough gameplay, and unmatched compatibility. Stay tuned for what's next. Unmatched compatibility.
Yeah, man. We're here. We were talking about the future. It's now.
It's crazy how much this fits in the conversation we're having as far as licensing this thing out.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you press play with sound? I want to hear what Sarah Bond is saying in this video.
Vision is for you to play the games you want with the people you want anywhere you want. That's why we're investing in our next generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next generation Xbox consoles, in your living room and in your hands. Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation to unlock a deeper level of visual quality and immersive gameplay and player experiences enhanced with the power of AI, all while maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. This is all about building you a gaming platform that's always with you, so you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device. That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. The next generation of Xbox is coming to life, and this is just the beginning. We can't wait to show you what's next.
I'm going to be so annoying saying the same goddamn thing over and over, but I believe it so much that I'm going to continue to do that, Bless.
Go for it.
The next generation is going to be the least crossing of generations we've ever seen. It's going to be just more continuing the same. I think the biggest difference on the Xbox side is they're finally going to be able to hit that point of it's not Xbox console and Xbox PC. It's just Xbox. And that means the console is gone. It is PC. It is a PC in your living room. It's a PC in your hands. And it's a PC, whatever it is. It is a computer. Yeah. And we can say, oh, consoles are like computers or whatever. It's like there's clearly a difference, though, when there are console games and computer games and all this stuff. That's going to be the difference of next gen. And that's just going to be, oh, there's the standard of whatever the next gen hardware that they're talking about here. Yeah, that'll just be a high end thing for you to buy to play these games well. And then there's going to be so many more SKUs than there's ever been to play Xbox games. We're here already. They're just telling us it loud and clear that they are partnering with AMD to make sure compatibility works as they do this and continue to do this. They're already doing it. Yeah. Like, I really don't think we're going to see a huge difference of. Let me say this. I don't necessarily.
I don't think it's going to be about power.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get Xbox next generation exclusive games.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
And that's already kind of been what Xbox has been doing. But I do think at a certain point, there'll have to be some cutoff point. It'll be a PC. It'll be just like a PC there'll be minimum system specs.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, as I read this and as I hear Sarah Bond talking that video, right, like the words she's saying in the tweet, them saying next level performance, cutting edge graphics, breakthrough gameplay, and unmatched compatibility. One, most of that, maybe outside of unmatched compatibility, because I think I can read into that in different ways. But all those other words, I'm like, all right, cool. That sounds like any console upgrade. That sounds like anything, right? But like, Sarah Bond mentioning AI as well, my brain automatically goes to like all the stuff that we've been talking about with NVIDIA, DLSS, and all that stuff, but then also the pisser on the PlayStation side, right? Yeah. Like a lot of these words could also just apply to a pro console, which Xbox didn't do this generation, right? They didn't do the Xbox Pro thing or PS5 Pro thing. But also I think that is because things are becoming just really different compared to previous generations where those lines aren't as clear cut, and I don't think it's as exciting. Like the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's for in the same way that we're talking about like the Xbox handheld stuff being for the hardest of the hardcore, right? Like PS5 Pro, I'd also say is for the hardest of the hardcore or people that really care about that visual fidelity experience. But I think it's a weird / hard thing to market as far as like telling people that are playing a console that already still looks fantastic that AI is going to make their game look so much better or whatever. This is like, as somebody who I look at the GTA 6 trailer that says is running on a base PS5 Pro. I look at the Death Stranding 2 trailers or like even the Death Stranding 2 gameplay I had when I got to preview the game. And I'm like, brother, the PS5 base console still looks phenomenal. It's really tough to push power. I think Xbox is doing it the right way where I look at this and I'm like, hey, that's a really exciting prospect for next generation. Is for it to be about everything that you're saying, Tim, it to be about the PC stuff, it to be about, all right, give people the power to make Xbox whatever they want, and it's going to be about essentially flooding the market with our ways to get into our ecosystem as opposed to like trying to sell a box that is getting harder and harder to sell.
Yeah, I truly think that we're at a point, and we've been here a while, and I think the Switch 2 is evidence of it from the Nintendo side, that the next gen hardware being the exciting part, I think is a thing of the past. Yeah. I think it is promise of the games you're playing are going to play better there. The games are the exciting part. This is actually a good thing.
Yes.
And it's exciting that we can play our games in more different ways on lower end things. So people have lower barriers of entry to playing so many games, but then also on the high end things of how far do you want to push this and how many options do you have to push it that high. And with the advent of all of this AI tech in different ways, like we're seeing so many strides happening and so many amazing things. And is it perfect? No, none of this is. Does that help keep the price down for a lot of stuff? Yes. Does it get the results we need better than not? I'd say overall, yes. Looking at all the Digital Foundry Switch 2 coverage has been so fascinating, where there's multiple games, not all, but there are multiple games like Hogwarts Legacy that are running better on the Switch 2 and looking better on the Switch 2 than other systems because of the DLSS. Like, it's just interesting that, like, when you use the tech correctly, even a underpowered system can look
get the most out of it.
You can get the most out of it. And guess what? Buying a PS5 Pro, it's going to look better on that.
Yes.
Buying a $4,000 PC, it's going to look way better on that. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's about being able to look really good at different levels for different price points and different entry points, but running well all the same. So I also think that AMD, great partner. AMD's been really taking over the processor game when it comes to the PC gaming side of things for a long time, where like people, my generation has been so tied onto Intel because they were the ones. And now whenever you look at like what are the best gaming PC builds, everyone's talking AMD. You know, the Threadripper, the Ryzen, all this stuff. Is like there is a focus there that, yeah, Microsoft like leaning into them and making these partnerships and kind of filling the voids that they have technologically, I think is all great news. I still wish it was all happening now. I can't believe we're 10 years into having this same conversation and them adding more and more attempts to make this all make sense. But thing is, if you're paying attention, it already is.
Yes. I want to bring in some super chats. A lot of people wrote in. Let's start with Calvin Perez that says, as someone who used to have to sell Game Pass, Xbox struggles to mass market these things. Price will be a big barrier, TBH. I think this will flop. I have multiple thoughts on this. I think, one, yes, Xbox is going to struggle, I think, marketing it, but I think it's going to be repetition. I think for me, this comes back to conversations we had during the Xbox showcase, where like we're talking about Xbox Play Anywhere, we're talking about the cloud, we're talking about well, we weren't talking about smart delivery, but I'll even throw smart delivery and like all the buzzwords of it. I think you're going to have to either refine down some of those marketing pushes to be a bit more like I think Play Anywhere might be the thing that you focus on the most, of like, all right, this is what we're saying and this is what we're pushing because it's the most true, or this is an Xbox, right? Like we have to choose one and fucking roll with it.
They're different things though.
Yeah, but
they're different things.
Are they? What's different about those?
What's different about them is that this is an Xbox is saying that like so many different devices, not every device, not a PlayStation 5, not a Switch, not a this,
but so
many
have the ability to play Xbox.
Have the ability to play Xbox PC games.
Yes,
that's important. Play Anywhere is you can play on PC or Xbox. This is an Xbox doesn't have to do with the Xbox console and its gaming features and games.
It has to do with cloud though, right?
But see, now we're adding extra things to it.
Is that an extra thing?
Xbox
You're not going to tell me,
games.
is cloud a different thing than this is an Xbox? Like, is cloud not included in that conversation?
I mean, I feel like that starts getting really, really vague about it all. And sure, if you want,
that's how I've always.
Then I mean, yes, via the cloud, you could do all of this.
Yes,
that is true.
My thing is, we're going to have to get to the place, and I think this is the future, right? Like, just not right now.
But then that's true. Everything's a PlayStation 2 then. Everything's a Steam,
but I think Xbox is trying to do that thing where everything really is an Xbox. Like I think they're trying to make those mean the same thing as far as Play Anywhere, and this is an Xbox, and you have to get those to be the same thing.
I guess here's the thing: you got to take cloud out of it because people are expecting that means that you can play it, you can execute the thing on the system. And if they don't, if we are just talking about cloud,
I think Xbox doesn't want that. I think Xbox is trying to wipe that part of it because that's how you.
That is marketing that you're never going to get across to people because. If you lined up 10 different people that have different levels of game in them and you ask them like, oh, you tell them, hey, this is an Xbox. Like you can just play anything in Xbox. And you ask them, what questions do you have? I feel like out of the 10, you're going to get at least 3 or 4 of them that ask a question that the thing that they're asking, well, you can't do that.
I mean, but this is the exact problem I think that we're having with the Xbox stuff. Because when they say this is an Xbox, my phone, my Samsung Galaxy S25, this is an Xbox, right?
Yeah, my iPhone.
And that's via cloud. My Samsung Smart TV at home is, I think it could be an Xbox, but I don't think it's the most recent one. But pretend I have an advanced Smart TV, right? Like, that's an Xbox. I should be able to transfer from playing my box, like my console, to my TV, to my phone, to my PC, and it all works seamlessly. And that's where this is an Xbox has to meet Play Anywhere. Because Play Anywhere is what's going to meet the save data, like the Xbox PC version of the game to the Xbox consoles version of the game, those have to be able to speak and talk to each other in a way that's seamless. And we've been talking about this, right? I think the future is no more Xbox console. Xbox PC is just the way to go. The next Xbox console is going to be a PC. And all the stuff is confusing. Like, all this stuff is, like, I think, hard to navigate from a marketing perspective. I think we understand the bulk of it because we're so paying attention to it and we're so, like, we're in the weeds on this stuff. But for Joe Schmo, who's at home, who doesn't pay attention to this stuff, and, like, Xbox does a commercial that is Play Anywhere, this is an Xbox or whatever, right? Like, they're gonna have questions. What's up, Greg Miller?
I'm listening on a delay, so I've probably lost the last 30 seconds. But you're talking about the seamless experience of going between them. Like, that exists. Like, that happens. That exists in terms of jumping all around. Not every game as you're talking about. This is a conversation from yesterday of, the Play Anywhere thing being a big deal going forward. But there are so many games that are there. But, like, right now, when I'm playing something on cloud and I turn it off and go to my Xbox downstairs or whatever, and I turn on my Xbox, like go to Starfield or whatever, Oblivion, it'll say, hold on, syncing your save, and I'm done and I'm in. And I pick up where I left off. And if I boot it up, like if I'm playing on my ROG Ally and then I go to the X and I still have my session open, the X will open and be like, oh, hey, you have a Windows session going. Are you good to close that? I'll say, yep. And it'll bring my save over there. So that's happening already in terms of that ubiquitousness of it, of like you saying going from the cloud to your phone to this. And you also brought up your phone of like the cloud. This is the Xbox bit also works on the phone because, of course, remote play, which I think is a big part of what they're pitching when they're talking about this. For having zero thing.
Yeah. That's what I always loop in the remote play and cloud into the same thing, even though I know they're different. Because cloud, you're playing off of something on their server. But
cloud, you have nothing.
Yeah. Tim, I saw you shaking your head for a second.
I just think it's so funny, like how clear this is when the entire chat can't agree and everyone's saying this guy's right, this guy's right, this guy's right. We're not even disagreeing necessarily
I don't
about
think we're
anything
disagreeing.
we're saying.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, unless do you disagree with something being said?
No, I just wanted to clarify that, like,
Which is this is hilarious, but whatever.
So here's my one thing, right?
Sure, please.
Based on what you just said, Greg, versus I think what me and Tim are going back and forth on. What you said to me sounds like Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox, or this is an Xbox, already have that, like, I feel like those could be morphed into one thing. Is the conversation that I'm trying to have. And they will be. Yeah.
We're at a point right now.
It sounds like we're already kind of there.
We are. I really think the turning point you saw at SGF where they were like, hey, third parties are putting this into Xbox Play Anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the future. And so now it's going to be fewer and fewer and fewer until hopefully there are no games that aren't Play Anywhere going forward.
Yes.
It's just the fact that we've had so many, not false starts, but programs and trials and things Xbox has done that you get to this weird part of, the old example of, all right, cool, I'm playing the Outer Worlds, but there's an Xbox version and a PC version, and they don't talk to each other, even though they're both on Game Pass, so it's not a Play Anywhere title. So I started up like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yes.
But that's grandfathered in, right? That's the fact that technology is constantly changing. Business agreements are constantly changing. Sarah today, them at SGF, clearly going forward, this is what they're trying to do. This is the future of Xbox, but it means there's going to be some things in the past that don't work out the way they want them to.
All right, cool. Appreciate it, Greg. Thank you for the clarification. I want to bring in the second half of the super chat that I was reading from. Where is it? Was it Calvin Perez? Oh no, I lost the super chat. The super chat that I read was the first half was about what we're talking about as far as it being messy, and then the second half was saying that they think it's gonna flop. I don't think it's gonna flop. I think that's the part where I differ. I do think that this is a very forward-looking plan as far as like where everything is going, right? But to boil it down more, I think it's meeting the audience where they're at. It's looking at where Xbox is at in the quote-unquote console race that just doesn't exist anymore, right? But where they're at position-wise and finding a space that actually fits for them and works for them and isn't going to be them constantly chasing the other two platforms. Like, this is a unique space that they're occupying. I also think they just have too much. They have control of too many pieces for this to be not successful. They have more studios than any publisher right now, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
Like, and they have the platform, and they have Windows.
It's happening. They're doing it. They're winning already in their lane.
Yeah.
Like, and they're only going to win more unless they royally fuck it up, which they very much can. And we've seen them do in the past. And I do think that they are clearly already at a point that this is unruly. There are too many things to handle at once and too many things you have to message at once. But because they've had to do this for so long and because they've made so many choices and committed to them, like we're already there and we're only going to get more there, and it's only going to get better and only going to get more seamless, and the internet's only going to get better, so cloud's only going to get better. Like, all these things are just going to improve, and the people that are investing or have invested in the Xbox system for a long time, they're going to be very happy because they're going to only have more ways to play better.
The one more thing I'll say to this too is I think one of the important things here is meeting the consumer where they're at, right? Consoles are getting more expensive. Hardware is getting more expensive. Software is getting more expensive. Games are going to go to $80. Games might go up more. Like, let's see what GTA 6 launches for and what ripple effect that makes as far as how much the stuff costs to make. At the same time, where again, I've shouted out this video from Alana Pierce a million times, right? But like, Alana Pierce has a very good video kind of talking about like where the video game industry is at as I believe as like a matured business, and like how the money that's being made has started to even out in a way where shareholders and investors are pulling their money out, right? Like, as that is happening, one of the big challenges and one of the things that factors into that is how do we find more people to be video game fans? Like, what more people can we sell video games to? The biggest barrier to entry for so much of the audience is going to be money. I can't afford the new PlayStation. I can't afford the new Switch. I can't afford to buy the new Switch and then buy games for $80. Xbox in real time is figuring that out. And I'm not saying they're doing this out of the goodness of their own hearts. They're doing this to figure out how to make more money out of the industry. But as a result, right, like, they're putting in real work into figuring out, okay, we have Game Pass, which gives people a membership so they can play our big first-party games. We have cloud so that you don't have to have a console. If we can make your phone into it, like, that's why they're going after phones. Everybody doesn't have a console. Everybody has a smartphone. Like, that is the way to get your game in front of people. And I think it's a very good strategy. I will think that it will work. It's not 100% guaranteed, but I see the vision. I think the vision is there as far as why they're doing this and like why there's a high potential for success with them doing it.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, we got so many super chats, y'all. Thank you for writing in. You know what? We're going to go to a commercial because I got to read these super chats to filter out which ones are really worth talking about here. So, of course, you can go to kindafunny.com/Patreon, or you can go on YouTube, get the Kinda Funny membership there, which allows you to get shows ad-free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. If you don't love your shades, exchange them for a new pair or simply return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team are always there to have your back with personal and fast support. Y'all know I've been outside a lot playing Pokemon Go, and it's such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I'm out and about looking dope. Exclusively for you, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Again, go to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY to get 35% off polarized sunglasses.
And we're back. Let's hop into a super chat from George Corona III, who says, I like where Xbox is going, but TBH, this marketing chips, silicon, this is an Xbox, etc. starts to get confusing. How do they market this plan with simplicity of what console gaming brings to the table?
I honestly think that it needs to get just a little bit more clear, and it needs to just work in a way that how you expect things to work, it does. And we're close. We're just not there right now.
Yeah.
But I think we're very, very close. I think, truthfully, the biggest problem is that a lot of these systems and services started around the release of Crackdown 3. And after Crackdown 3, there was a couple just meandering titles that came out. And it wasn't until
the one that Andy really liked.
Recore.
Recore, yeah.
That was even before this.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like the first games that were available as day one first party Xbox games on Game Pass.
Gotcha.
When they announced Game Pass, it was like, for reals? This is crazy. But their offering was kind of like, all right, cool. But when this is Gears and when this is Halo and when this is Forza, it's going to be a much bigger deal. And then Gears 5 happened, and then they continued, and we got Halo Infinite, we got Forza, and we got more Forza, and we got a lot of stuff. We're at a point now that like the train has left the station. The dominoes have been fucking falling.
Yeah.
And we're at a point now that there is already a lot of the questions answered. It's just not all of them. And you add third parties, you add other things. That's where it gets complicated. But for the bulk of things that matter to the core Xbox audience, it already makes sense. The question is, how do you get someone that's not in that audience in there?
Yeah.
And I think that is a tough sell until you are at a Best Buy at storefronts and able to explain to the random people, yes, you can play your Xbox games on this. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how you sell them. And that is the marketing push. And I think that getting these into stores and Xbox, them being Xbox branded, is going to go such a long way. We've seen so many devices. Like, think about the Backbone controllers. They sell well. Then you slap a PlayStation thing on it, it sells better. Because it feels more like, oh, this is something I need as a PlayStation fan. If they can sell people that are Xbox fans or people that want to get into Xbox, I think there are more people that are just like wanting a gaming PC that are willing to buy a handheld device with the Xbox logo on it than the Steam logo. Because if they wanted the Steam logo, they'd have a PC and they'd already know this stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need to convince them.
See, I think that's the only place where I differ. But like, I think
In what way?
I think Steam. I think that stuff makes more sense to I think to the person who's wanted to buy a PC handheld, right? Like, I think Steam has such a domination on the PC.
Well, that's my point. You don't need to market to them.
Sure.
I'm talking about marketing to people that don't know about these products or like aren't that you're trying to convince them to buy it.
Yeah.
You don't need to
But I
convince
think-
people to buy a Steam Deck.
I guess that, and maybe that is more the point that I'm making, right? Is I think a PC handheld with a Steam logo versus a PC handheld with an Xbox logo, like the Steam handheld, it just has more potential for selling, just because that audience is more, I guess, tuned to what that is, and like, I think it's an easier.
The Steam handheld?
Yeah.
Not a chance, dude.
Really?
Not a chance, man.
I don't know.
Steam
I think the PC market has grown like a lot, like by a
PC
lot.
market, yes, but I think that the
the
handheld gaming side, that is still a console feeling thing.
Not anymore. I think
How
after
can you say that? And
I think- yeah.
I know that we were going long on this, but like the Switch 2, a console handheld,
sure.
and it's Nintendo, but what caveats do we have to give this? Like, in a couple days is already outselling this stuff, right?
Yeah, but that's
like,
Nintendo. I think Xbox is a different beast as far as like
I
where
do too.
Xbox sits is for marketability, and especially on a PC platform currently. Like, Steam is just the number one platform on
PC.
on PC. Yeah,
on a
So
computer.
and when you make a PC handheld, right? Like Steam. I think Steam just makes the most sense for marketability and for that audience understanding. And I think that audience is huge in the last 10 years. Like, Steam has only gone up, whereas Xbox has kind of like hasn't had that same, I guess, upward trajectory.
I think that's that is my point somewhere in there.
Okay.
Is that I think that gaming PCs have a much shallower market ceiling than gaming handhelds. Like gaming console handhelds, however you want to think about it, where yes, Steam is dominant on PC, but we're seeing how much these things are selling, and it's not that much. So
Sure.
I feel like a portable Xbox, I think, has a higher ceiling.
I'm fascinated by how much it sells. Because
So I mean, even looking at the PlayStation Portal as how well that thing sells. Like
Yeah,
I
but
think there's something about the way that people play console games and the way they think about the handheld experience with those games is different than the PC side, despite the PC side being there and doing it and proving that they can.
Yeah, but I think the Nintendo aspect of it and the PlayStation aspect of it makes it a way different thing.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo has the history of handhelds, and also that's the only way now that you can play a Nintendo is via a handheld. I think a PlayStation Portal counts more as an accessory, but even with that, right, like we know what PlayStation does as far as their ecosystem, where it all fits in that hardware lineup, right? They're making these premium products that are enhancing the way you play on your PlayStation. Xbox is partnering with a PC handheld maker to make a PC handheld, which I think is unprecedented territory for them, and also is going to pose just, I think, a lot of challenges, especially where Xbox, the brand of Xbox, is at versus where PlayStation, Nintendo is at.
Yeah.
But
I mean, hey,
we'll see. We'll see where the numbers land.
It's an uphill battle, but yeah, we should check in on this
Yes.
because I do think that to answer the question here of how you market it as a portable Xbox,
Mhm.
and if they can do that, they're gonna get sales.
Let's move on. This is actually story number 2 because we had breaking news. So we went one breaking in now. Story number 2, PlayStation, the concert finally gets US tour dates. This is Wesley LeBlanc at Game Informer. The U.S. leg of PlayStation The Concerts tour starts in New York City on October 11th at the theater at Madison Square Garden, no less. And tickets will go on sale June 20th. But the tour includes more than 20 other stops in 2025 before another 40 stops around the country in 2026. PlayStation The Concert showcases a stunning fusion of multi-layered visuals, immersive surround sound, and an all-star ensemble featuring classical and modern instruments, a press release reads. And Tim, I broke this out. February 15th, 2026 is when they come to San Francisco, California, Golden Gate Theater.
Hell,
Is that the one that
yes.
had the Sonic concert in it?
No, unfortunately, it's not. The Golden Gate's the smaller one. It's where they did the. Did you go to the Spider-Verse Orchestra concert?
No.
Oh, you missed
Wait,
out.
I did go to the Avatar one, which I forget
No,
where.
Avatar was the Sonic one.
So you're telling me that
It's a smaller one.
the PlayStation concert is getting a smaller theater than the Sonic the Hedgehog concert?
I am.
Oh, what a
I am.
shame.
I am.
What a shame.
And real talk.
Oh, we're back.
we're
so fucking back.
dude. Let's
Come
go.
on.
God, I want that show to come back.
The Sonic
Round
one?
2, baby.
Oh,
Let's go.
Come on.
Encore. Obviously, very excited about this. I've been excited since they announced PlayStation The Concert. I've said this a little bit on shows. I'm pretty significantly let down by this show, though.
Really?
I've watched it all on YouTube at this point. I've read a bunch of reviews of it. Obviously, it's cool. It's a lot of great PlayStation songs, and they're orchestrated, and I love that. They got a medley on the intro and outro, combining things, and it's pretty damn cool. But the overall presentation of this thing, not great. I think that it's overproduced in the wrong ways, underproduced in the actual performance of music. Like, they do the thing where the majority of the tracks are pre-recorded, and there's like, you hear 10 violins, but there's 2 violins on stage. A lot of stuff like that I'm like, oh yeah, and it's at the Golden Gate Theater in SF. Like, they just ain't trying that hard.
Are you
But
gonna go to
I'm
it?
still going. Oh yeah,
Okay.
and like it's still great music, and it's still like, I'd rather hear 2 violins than none. But yeah, I am a little let down with how much they've been hyping this up of like, this is about to be a concert experience like you've never seen. Like, all their trailers are very like, we're doing this crazy tech or whatever, and then you see it and you're just like, all right, there's just a bunch of sacred symbols flying around in ways that I'm like, I literally use that B-roll for edits that I've done. Like, this isn't as special as you made it out to be.
Dang.
So definitely let down on that front, but it's great songs. I mean, I'm not going to be mad hearing the Ragnarok theme and Uncharted theme and Last of Us. Like, it's great stuff.
Story number 3. Red Dead Redemption voice actors seem to be teasing a Red Dead related announcement coming this week. This is David Carcasole at WCCFTech. Rob Weethoff, the actor who plays John Marston in Red Dead Redemption and RDR2, teased in a live stream this past Saturday while playing Red Dead Redemption that there's something coming this week related to the Red Dead series, likely closer to Friday, that he's incredibly excited to share and discuss with players once the news is made public. Quote, I've got such exciting news. I can't wait to I can't share it with you right now, and it's absolutely killing me, he began. I love people that can't keep secrets. They're my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Quote, by the end of this week, hopefully sooner, not this week, I guess, probably not as soon as tomorrow, but definitely before Friday. Oh my goodness, the news that I have to share. Oh, he's bursting at the seams. He's bursting at the seams. And I won't be the only one sharing it. I cannot wait for you to know what's going on. And that's all I can say. End quote. What made it seem like a direct reference to Red Dead and a Red Dead related announcement coming is that he ended his vague and excited statement by saying, quote, I'm so excited, but I truly cannot think of anything else, especially playing this game. I can't think of anything else, end quote.
I love it.
I love it so much. Adding to his vague statements after the live stream was Roger Clark, the actor who plays Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2. When asked if he knew what Weithoff was talking about on X, he replied with a simple, quote, yes, and a gif of a grinning dog, smiling like they have a secret no one else knows. Then, Nasir Dalal, the voice actor for Charles in Red Dead Redemption 2, replied to Clark's tweet with his own vague tease, adding even more weight to the pile.
Dildo in the chat.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Dildo. It's dildo with
With
a
a
Y.
Y.
Says him and Roger Clark are going to do a stream or something. I doubt it's anything big. And then Jay Collado says it's a podcast. I bet maybe they're doing something like Troy and Nolan did of like, you know, streaming, playing through the games or something. That would make sense for the level that they're hyping it, like them too.
Yeah.
But there has been a lot of rumors of
The streets have been talking about Red Dead Redemption 2.
yeah.
The remaster.
Yeah, 60 FPS. Switch 2's out. I don't know.
I hope so.
We'll
So,
see.
Tim, where's the Nintendo Switch Direct for like the third party Direct? Are we getting one of those?
No. I
We're
mean,
not
not right
getting-
now. Like,
Not by the end of June.
no. We got the third-party games that are like the next couple months, I think.
Like, where are they going to talk about the new
'Cause
Just Dance?
But I don't know. I just don't know. Ubisoft will figure it out. But I feel like we have Star Wars Outlaws, right? That's coming. Like, there
Yeah.
are still third-party games this year that they announced that aren't out yet. So I think we're pretty locked in
You don't think
third-party
there's
wise.
more?
Not really.
Dang.
Like, I think once we already have a couple questions, like when's remake coming? Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
Like, it's announced, but we don't have a date.
Did they say this year?
They did.
Okay.
Mhm. I think we clarified they did recently.
Okay.
But yeah, there's that. There's Star Wars. There are a couple other like heavy hitters.
We got more breaking news. Hold on. Let's Google this
Yeah.
one. Let's Google this one. Let's see. Okay, I just gotta. It's not on Google yet, so I'm just gonna go to Blue Sky, see what pops up. Chat. Oh man, Tim, read story number 4. while I
I'm
do
reading
this.
story number 4. Fortnite launches new 4-player PvE mode that's essentially Helldivers with Lego. That's a lot of brand names. This comes from Tom Phillips at IGN. Years before Fortnite became a battle royale phenomenon, Epic Games Shooter originally launched as a PvE game, with an offering now dubbed Save the World that saw teams working together to survive against waves of zombies. Now, Fortnite's returning to its roots with the LEGO Fortnite Expeditions, a fresh mission-based PvE mode for up to 4 players, which looks like a mix of the game's existing LEGO gameplay with PlayStation console hits, Helldivers. Pretty sick. Developer Epic Games is positioning Expeditions to be another permanent Fortnite mode and the game's third major LEGO experience after the survival-focused LEGO Odyssey and sim-like LEGO Brick Life. I love that they're still doing this.
Yeah.
Goddamn Fortnite continued to expand as a platform of games.
Fortnite continuing to look at what other games are doing and going, we should make a
We
mode.
can do this
We
too.
should do that too.
Let's make money from this.
Oh, they got Helldivers? All right, let's make it Lego and put it out to children.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Fortnite, I guess. I can't find people. Okay, so the breaking news, seemingly, from chat. And so don't take this as confirmation yet, but people in chat are saying Marathon is delayed. I can't find it.
Paul Tassie's being name dropped in the chat. I'm searching for the Tassulator.
I'm going to have to go to the Forbidden Place.
Update
Twitter.
from the Marathon team.
There we go.
Bungie.net here. Let's go through here. Marathon development updates. This was 11 hours ago.
It probably was. Oh, man. Yeah, that was scheduled from 11 hours ago, but I think it just went live.
There's a lot of words here. I mean,
I can read them. I got it in front of me.
They don't look interesting.
They don't look interesting?
No, this doesn't seem like...
Here's the thing. I got a tweet from Shinobi who links to the same thing that says Marathon has been delayed. Bungie to focus on feedback over the next several months. Areas of focus include better AI.
So they don't officially say, okay, hold on, here we go. After much discussion within our dev team, we've made the decision to delay the September 23rd release. Over the next few months, we'll continue closed testing, including participants from the alpha, to deploy gameplay updates and test new features as they come. So there's no actual idea on when this is happening. But
It's officially been delayed.
yeah,
Man.
Oh,
I think this is what we're going to do. What's tomorrow? Because I know tomorrow's also a weird day.
tomorrow's Donkey Kong Day.
Tomorrow's Donkey Kong game day. We still have KFGD tomorrow.
Just after.
We're going to talk about this on KFGD tomorrow.
Yeah, that
because
sounds good.
we're at the end of this show, sadly. Because I would love to break this down with you. Too.
There's
There's
a
a
lot
lot
there.
to talk about. But let's sit. Let's let this simmer. Let's form our opinions over the next 24 hours.
I love that.
And then come back as informed people and really have a good conversation about this. For now, though, Tim, if I wanted something small, say the tiniest. God, Greg's coming
Here it
back
comes.
here. Let's not transition yet because
Smallest
I
thing
wonder
I've
what
ever
he has to
seen.
say. He's got the handheld
He's
mic.
coming with a mic.
He doesn't
It's
know.
not
he has
bad news.
words.
It's not bad news. It's, I hear the Bungie thing happened, and then you were like, "Oh, well, I mean, like, we could just do a GAMESCast about it. We could roll into here if we wanted to. Like, I mean, we're talking about
want to?
what we've been playing on GAMESCast. It's not like it's like the biggest thing. We could ride the thing here of
Do you have that much to say? Do
is
you?
Bungie cooked?
I don't know
or
that I
whatever.
have that much to
Bungie
say.
cooked.
I'm just saying it was just an opportunity. If you want
Is
to
that
do
the
it.
conversation people want? Let's see. Let's put up a poll.
Yeah.
Do you want that or hot takes on Link's Awakening?
Like Andy's got to talk about. Oh, where'd it go? He's got to talk about Dune Awakening. Let Andy talk about Dune Awakening.
people. I'm just putting it out there. We can still
You know what I
talk.
mean?
I was just
No.
on the
Joey's
delay.
been playing Animal Crossing on the Switch too. Give the people what they want. All right. Tim,
Yeah.
we got a lot of big decisions to make as far as, are we keeping the ship? Are we changing the ship? Are we going to talk about Marathon?
Big-
what are we
big
going to do?
decisions, yeah.
Big decisions, but if I wanted something small, say the tiniest news I needed to know about, where would I go?
We go to our last story, the We News channel, where we cover all of the small news items that you need to know about.
Story number 5 is Wii News. New Game Pass games have been announced. Coming out today is FBC Firebreak, Crash Bandicoot 4, and Lost in Random: The Eternal Die.
Dude, fuck yeah, man. Crash Bandicoot 4, awesome game. Barrett and I played a little Crash 2 and Crash Team Racing yesterday, and we kept talking about Crash 4. I'm like, dude, Crash 4 is legit awesome. And other Wii News for you, Crash Team Racing, as we were playing yesterday, their account tweeted out that they've crossed 10 million sales.
Oh, yeah, I
for
saw
Crash
that.
Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
Good for them.
And why'd they announce it yesterday? Were they watching Barrett's stream? Are they prepped for Barrett's Naughty Dog video at the end of the week?
Wow.
Cool
A
stuff.
lot to think about. On the 19th, you're getting Rematch. On the 24th, you're getting Volcano Princess, and this is, of course, new Game Pass games. On the 26th, you're getting Against the Storm and Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. On the 30th, you're getting Call of Duty World War II. And then July 1st, you're getting Little Nightmares 2 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. And then for standard Game Pass, you're getting, on the 18th, Star Trucker and Wild Frost. Expedition 33 is getting accessibility updates. This was tweeted by the Expedition 33 Twitter account, where they said, "Bonjour, we're currently exploring." That's how they say it over there. We're currently exploring a wide range of future improvements, from accessibility features to new content and all sorts of bits and bobs we're actively assessing. Naturally, this also includes expanded localization options. While we don't have specific timelines or confirmed languages to share just yet, we wanted to let you know that it's very much on our radar. Because that's what
That makes me feel wee for
That's
sure.
what SKA
Not
says.
woo. I'm so stoked about this. Them now official confirmation. We're getting new content. What's that look like? Future improvements. There's a lot of improvements I'd love to see. A lot of things I'd love to see them. Even simple things like retry for different battles, just make it a lot snappier. I would love a mini map. I know that would be a lot more work, but I think that a lot of people agree with me.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but I think that might be something that they decide to add. And I am hopeful for a Switch 2 announcement because I think the game will thrive there, and I might be willing to replay it.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I want to replay Expedition for sure.
I agree.
And I'm like, I feel like
That's
having
one of
it on
them games
Switch
that you
would
would
be
play
like-
for sure.
So.
Tron Catalyst reviews are here. Right now on Metacritic, it's sitting at a 69. Nice. And on OpenCritic, it's sitting at a 68. IGN gave it a 7 out of 10 and says Tron Catalyst competently gets the job done as an action game, but it's rarely more than just good. Speaking of reviews, early FBC Firebreak reviews are in too. On Metacritic, it's sitting at a 66, and on OpenCritic, it's sitting at a 68. Game Rant gives it a 6 out of 10 and says FBC Firebreak is a big swing for Remedy Entertainment that's definitely worth a few cheers.
Yeah, we're about to do a stream of it in a couple hours, right after GAMESCAST.
Let's go. Golden Tee Arcade Classics launches July 17th on Xbox, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. And finally, Blueprints is getting some Mac support. And that is it
Sick.
for Wii News.
Again, love seeing both Blueprints and Expedition 33 find even bigger and bigger audiences and like get out there. So like, congrats, Blueprints. I think on Mac, that's the type of game that I think you can get a lot of people that just have a MacBook but are kind of interested in games.
Yeah. I like that. I like that category of person.
But that's a freaking giant market share out there.
Good for them.
Good for them.
I'm still using MacBooks. It's like, how about a PC, you loser? You know, what are you doing on there? What are people still doing with MacBooks? Wait, is that a MacBook?
Yes.
My bad, bro. My bad. Shit. Oh, man. That's awkward.
Yeah, first it was the Pikmin. Then it was the MacBooks. What's next, everyone?
But like, I feel like Pikmin people and MacBook people, there's a big Venn diagram there.
No, there's not.
For sure a big Venn diagram. Chat, if any of y'all play Pikmin, let me know what kind of computer you use.
Lakers Head. What computer you use, Lakers Head?
Let me know. Let's see. Street Shadow says, because I forgot. For a second, I was gonna be like, "Yo, this is you're wrong. You're right. It's not you're wrong." Street Shadow for Super Chat says, "Tim's right. PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo have stronger brands than Steam. Even with fewer features, for example, a dedicated PlayStation handheld could reach far more people, like Switch, due to brand trust and loyalty." I disagree with some aspects there, but then also some aspects I think are just a very different thing. A dedicated PlayStation handheld is gonna sell fantastic, especially depending on the amount of first-party dedication to it, right? Like, if all of the PlayStation games that we have are playable on a PlayStation handheld, yes, it's going to sell phenomenally because of the PlayStation brand. I think my argument comes back to the power of the PlayStation brand and the Nintendo brand versus the power of the Xbox brand in a gaming handheld space. I think it's just different. But also, this is going to be a wait and see thing of like, let's see how the numbers speak. Kobe Arndt says, PlayStation wheeling around Bloodborne's corpse at these concerts is going to make me huff an obscene amount of copium. Are they really playing Bloodborne music over there?
They're playing Bloodborne, bro. They're doing it.
There's
a whole Bloodborne suite. They make the medley.
I don't like that. You know what I mean? You just out here representing Bloodborne when you want to. Like picking and choosing.
Mm-hmm.
Make a remake already. Killian C says, this is cool. I just wish they were including more classic PlayStation games. Games like Parappa, Vib Ribbon, Parappa. What do you...
Fuck yeah, dude. Parappa, Vibropin, Parappa, Twisted Metal, Parappa, Unjammer Lemmy, Parappa.
He's a big old fan of Parappa over here. Let's see.
I'm with you though, for reals. I don't want to like take away from the fact that what's a PlayStation concert? It's like, oh, it's all the music from the PlayStation 4 generations of games that we all love so much, which feels kind of boring, you know?
Yeah.
But also, some of the best music ever. Can't complain.
Are they playing previous generations too? Like, is there PS1, PS2? Is it Shadow of the Colossus? I guess.
They do. Yeah, they do Shadow. They do Shadow. They do.
Is there Brave Fencer Musashi?
No, there's not. There's no Crash. There's no Final Fantasy. There's no Metal Gear. There's none of that stuff. It's like, it's very PlayStation. There's Helldivers. There's Horizon. There's Last of Us 1 and 2. Uncharted gets a couple.
Sure.
God of War gets a couple.
Here's the thing. I was excited to go to this. You have thoroughly unsold me on going to this thing. Maybe I'll see how I feel in February 2026.
Yeah.
I'm
going for sure. But I'm a sicko.
All right. We have so many super chats. Sadly, we do not have the time in the show to get to all of these, but there's gonna be one. I'm reading one more.
Give me one more.
Trevor writes in.
Make it good, Trevor.
And says, I would argue against a $1,000 price. Marketing will focus more on console players that have been tempted by handheld PC gaming, so they do not want it to be that high. I'm praying for $800.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But the one thing people don't want to hear are the facts. And we can talk all about, hey, like gaming's pricing people out. When things are selling out in incredibly high prices, the market's saying something different.
Yeah, but when you make 30 of those things and they sell out, it's like, cool, 30 people paid $1,000.
Yeah.
Those suckers.
Yeah, but that's not what's happening.
I don't know why I'm playing a character today. I don't know who this person is. I don't even dislike Pikmin.
He likes Pikmin. We're sorry, Lakers.
I don't have an opinion on Pikmin. I never played Pikmin. I'd probably like it if I played it. Olimar looks cute in the Smash games.
He's doing things, man. He's picking.
But I'm just saying, Fire Emblem has 1 million characters in Smash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want them to make individual.
You're out here. The fact that you, Blessing, are out here fighting for Fire Emblem, a game you've never played.
Yeah, but I fuck with the
you,
gamers.
Man.
I meet the gamers where they're at, and the gamers love Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Right?
Fuck yeah. Okay, let's go.
Tim, that brings us to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, where you write in, let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong, so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. Oh man, a lot of these are opinions, guys. All right, let me reiterate what you're wrong is. Facts. All right, I want facts that we got wrong. If I said that there have been 5 PlayStations and there have been 6, I fucked that up already. If I said there was 4 PlayStations and there have been 5, I want that as a correction. Hey, this is your chance right now to write
This is your chance. Fuck, get in there, kebabs.
Let's see. Tim said, hold on. That's not you're wrong either. Tim, we got nothing wrong.
We got nothing wrong in that whole show. That's how I felt. So it's nice to be confirmed.
Yeah. Well, most we're getting are people disagreeing with certain points, but like
which is our point.
Yeah,
So really, we're right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Tim,
it.
That's been Kind of Funny Games Daily.
Mm-hmm.
There's a GAMESCAST after this where we're going to talk about.
What will it be?
You're gonna have to wait and see. All right, tune into the GAMESCAST. Of course, this has been KFGD. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy the Gamescast next and the stream after. But until next time, game daily.